The protesters are probably on the same side as the people within the facility here. Everybody wants to no longer have to use the animals.
Sommige mensen denken dat de mensen maar denken dat wij dat kunnen doen. These animals will be infected with the disease or virus. There are animals that don't cope with it very well. So if we can put them in another group, they will go to a group, and otherwise they need to be euthanized.
Vice News gained rare access to a not-for-profit science laboratory which tests some of the world's most deadly infections and diseases on live monkeys. The facility is called the Biomedical Primate Research Center, or BPRC, and they're allowing us to film inside to see with our own eyes if monkey testing and animal welfare can go hand in hand. Testing on non-human primates has led to breakthroughs such as a polio vaccine and treatments against HIV and AIDS. And the BPRC is the largest facility of its kind in Europe. It's considered to be one of the most forward-thinking and progressive research centers for housing and caring for its monkeys. But they are still the focus of animal rights activists who have continued to protest outside the center for the last 20 years. They are protesting against what is happening in the facility. No one gets in without noticing that these people are here.
Ik denk iedereen die een beetje empathie heeft, compassie heeft voor, die moet wel een beetje weten. Kijk, verplaats jezelf daar in zo'n coaching. Verplaats jezelf dat de proef van wordt gedaan. Ja, dat kan gewoon niet, weet je. Het is gewoon onmenselijk om te denken dat mensen maar denken dat wij nog kunnen doen.
Wat willen wij? Alle apen vrij!
We wanted to understand why it is still necessary to develop life-saving drugs through experiments on live monkeys and how the animals are being treated. Hi.
Good morning.
Gwen.
Hi, I'm Annette.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So where are we?
This is our breeding facility. Over here are 1,200 rhesus macaques. We have around 150 long-tail macaques and we have 200 to 250 common marmosets.
The protesters called this place the monkey hell of Rijswijk.
Yeah.
How do you relate to that?
Obviously, I do not agree with how they call BPRC because as of 1996, we started to create these breeding groups that look much more like how you would find these groups in the wild. Young males of about 4 to 5 years of age, they leave their natal group before they immigrate into a new group where there are no relatives to prevent inbreeding.
So, and in this case you take out the young males and they are either sent to the lab or to another breeding facility?
Yeah.
Out of the 1,600 animals in the BPRC, on average only 10% move into experiments per year, meaning the structure and balance of the groups are left intact. Do you also see the monkeys that go to the lab and that are being tested on?
Yes, I see those animals too, yeah. And that's very hard sometimes, but because I know what we are using them for and I really feel that what we do is the right thing, I can handle that.
In order to maintain the health of the monkey colony, every animal is screened by vets once a year. Okay, so we're all masked up, we got our gloves on, headpieces on, and we just entered the treatment area where the annual checkups take place. So this is not a testing lab.
No, it's not a testing lab. We check the animals for their, it's a health screening.
Hey Jochie, hi. Heb jij al grote kinderen gekregen? Nee hè? Nee. Nog een jaartje wachten.
We take a small hair sample and with that hair sample we can measure cortisol levels. And cortisol is a measure for stress.
I was wondering, can they hear us right now?
No, I don't think that
because
they
he's
can hear us. Yeah,
blinking.
Yeah, because he's anesthetized, but
Yeah, he's not unconscious.
no. They all get a tattoo. So from a short distance, this is a way to identify the animal.
it looks so easy and so painless, but then you forget that this monkey is highly sedated on ketamine. So do they get names as well as numbers?
Yes, this is the name, Hyssop.
Hyssop. So this is Hyssop 11-118 done with tincturing.
Yes, give him some.
As part of the screening, all monkeys get tested for tuberculosis. Just like in humans, this is tested by injecting the subject with dead tuberculosis cells to see how the skin reacts. Why do you do it in the eyelid?
And then we can see it. When you do them on the skin here, then it is walking in the cage that is different to see it than you do in the eye.
Do you find it scary at all to inject in an eyelid?
It's always scary.
Once the screening is complete, those selected for experiments are segregated and rehoused in a separate area. Okay, so we just entered the training facility. This is where the selected monkeys are taken after they are tested. As you can see, it's really different from what we've seen before. The cages are significantly smaller. The monkeys that are brought here have never been here before, so their whole world is turned upside down. They're all confused and they're still partly sedated on ketamine. The monkeys here get trained to be more socialized so that when they eventually go to the experimental lab, they're not afraid of humans and they can cooperate better. We wanted to capture the intimate training of the primates, so we asked the staff to discreetly film their methods on small cameras. This training allows the monkeys to cooperate in experiments so that a use of force is no longer required. Once the monkeys are ready, they are selected for the experimental stage. We headed to meet Jeffrey, head of the Alternatives department. Today he was working on creating more effective adjuvants. An adjuvant is applied with a vaccine to stimulate a stronger immune response and allow the body to better combat a pathogen.
And these adjuvants sometimes, they also cause adverse effects. So what we're working on is to get rid of those adverse effects. So what you will see now is a monkey that has 10 spots on the back. 2 of the spots are with the old adjuvant and the other spots are with new adjuvants. So you see that there is a granuloma underneath it and it's painful for the animal. And what we want to get to is to get this type of immune responses, which basically cannot see in the skin, which is much better. So we think we are on our way to developing something new, which is better than the old ones. And we hope that the animal has less pain from the new type of adjuvants that we're using. This is refinement. So this is the first step of alternatives. First we want to get procedures that are less harmful for the animals. Then we want to get better procedures, less animals, and then finally we want to replace the animals entirely.
To meet EU and US regulations, all medicines must first be successfully tested in 2 species of animals before moving into clinical trials on humans. According to the animal rights group PETA, every year in the US alone, more than 125,000 primates are used in experiments in labs like this one. One of the aims of the BPRC's Alternatives Department is to reduce the amount of monkeys proceeding to the experimental stages by developing alternative non-primate forms of testing.
So what we're trying to do is to replace the use of non-human primates in biomedical research.
And how does that work?
Mostly by cell culture. So we work our way back from the monkey. And finally, of course, you want to end up with the ability to mimic an entire monkey in a lab dish. So what we do is we grow cells in this type of dishes, this type of culture dishes. As you can see, there are 96 of those little wells in one of these plates. And in each of these wells we can test a different drug. And what you get is this type of output. The green is the malaria parasite. So what we're looking at here is a way to easily quantify whether there are drugs that can inhibit the growth of these malaria parasites.
Could we say that every well in this pad, so it's 96 of them, represents a monkey?
Yeah, in a way you can, yeah.